Hey everyone, welcome back. I am bringing you a little tab flip booklet for my third project using this month's cards, tags, and more kit. I have my scrap pieces set out. I have the dies that I've already cut throughout the month ready. I have my pile of handmade paper that I had left from when I did the junk journal. And I still have some of those die cuts left from last week's memory decks. I am just going to take this pile over and see what I can cut out of it with those dies. I got a few more tags made, a few of the largest ones, some more made up of the next largest, and a few of the other sizes. I still have some pieces left. I just didn't cut tags out of them because it was mostly the white pieces. I have my stamped butterfly from my first project, that second stamped butterfly that I had made. And then I actually used those dies from this month's kit on my handmade paper. It cut through better than I thought it was, with the handmade paper being thicker and a little more uneven, but even where it didn't cut through all the way, I could easily just trim up along the lines. Alright, when I was first thinking up making some kind of tag flip folio or journal or project in general, I wasn't entirely certain what way I was going to go about it. So I am right here, I am just working out how I kind of wanted things to fold in on each other, and I'm just kind of trying to make my base layout so that I can work on what I'll use for the hinging and how many layers I will have to work with given the tag die cuts that I have. I did decide, I went over to my stash and I grabbed up some partial packages of trims I had. This is some 49 and Market burlap trim. It had come in a previous Jolie kit, but it was just the right height to use as my book cover. I'm just going to call it the book cover, since by the end of this it sort of folds up like a book. I only added a little bit of glue just to hold those pieces in place on that burlap until I had a chance to get them stitched in. And then I just went and grabbed a roll of washi tape just to use as my spacer so that I would have an even space between all four base tags. And I'm just going to say that burlap is incredibly frustrating to work with just because it has such large gaps in between all of the threads in it. So I tried to keep it as straight as possible so that the burlap would kind of be in line and not too far shifted one way or another. Then I just added little bits of washi tape along the bottoms just to help keep that shifting from happening too much. Then I just go back and I keep putting my pieces back where they belong, just so I can keep track of everything. I had this little bit of canvas fringe left from canvas core. I think I only had a couple feet of it left. I just cut it into smaller pieces to use as smaller hinges, and then just laid it out on which tags it would be going on. And then for the hinges for the large tags that flip out, I added more burlap and then finished off my canvas on the small tags, the two small tags that fold together. And then it was finally time. I took it over and I stitched my base all together. I didn't know, I didn't know what type of thread to use, well, what color thread to use. I couldn't decide on a color, so I just used some rainbow variegated thread because I figured that would go nice with all of the colors in the papers. With my base together, then I just move on and start placing my flip out tags where they're gonna go and trying to get their hinges on them. I just use my binder clips to hold everything in place so that I can carry it over to my sewing machine and get all of those flips stitched in. And there you have it. All of my flips are stitched in. My tag flip little booklet here is more or less put together. So I just trim up some of the threads, and when I was folding it back up and thinking about it, I decided I should put a closure on it. And then because I couldn't think of this before I put it all together, I do actually decide to add a zipper to the burlap after I have all of the tags on. And I've said it before, y'all, if you want to see the hardest way to do something, just see if I've tried to make it. Because I swear I will look for the hardest way to do it and try that. If I was doing this again, I would most definitely add my zipper before my tags. It was not an easy task trying to sew that zipper on with tags falling everywhere and flipping out on me. And there you have it. After a lot longer than it should have taken, I did manage to get that zipper on, and it does actually work. I left the gaps at the ends so that the booklet would lay flat, and after I had it stitched in place, I went back and I just added some decorative stitching that my sewing machine has decorative stitches built into it, so I just used those decorative stitches just so that variegated thread would show up more and add more color. While I was looking for the width of washi tape that I wanted to use for my spacing, I came across this wide roll of washi tape, and it has a bunch of quotes on it. So I just came in and ran that across the tags that are in the center, and then I just go about decorating. I add in the stamped butterfly that I had left over. I came in and just added some of this, it's Scotch washi tape with those silver polka dots. And then I added some of my die cuts just plain, and some I took over to my sewing machine and added some of that polka dot silver washi tape to, and made them into little tabs. And there is my little pile of tabs, and then I just glue them on to some of the flips. I just flip my little booklet over while it's still flat, while those tabs are drying in place, and start decorating the outside panels. I just put my big die cut butterfly on that handmade paper on the front, and some of the green jewels from the kit this month down the body of it. And then I add just a few flowers just to sort of highlight and accent that front cover. On the back cover, I just used that large flower that was also cut from the handmade paper and just used a white circle for the flower center. And then I come back in and I just finished using up those die cuts that I had to decorate a few more of the tags. Alright, my little tag flip booklet is complete. My zipper is old, so it was already kind of tough to move. But I do use this opportunity to just find any stray threads or edges of that burlap that are sticking out, just to help clear the tracks of that zipper. You can see on that burlap, you can get yourself some paint pins or just some paint and decorate. I added some little heart brads, and I added some other brads holding those little metal flips on there just to tuck tags under. Some places I just used a paper clip to tuck some of those small tags in. You can use this to write little notes to yourself, make it kind of a little journal, a little diary. A lot of places on here to tuck in and write on. You could add some ephemera, ticket stubs, little bits of memorabilia that you might have from some special occasion that you want to keep. And with the zipper closure, you know that things are not going to fall out when it's closed up and being moved around. And then I just come in here, and this is where I just take one final look and trim down any threads that are sticking up or any pieces of burlap that are just too close to the zipper track, so that it will stop catching on it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications if you haven't already, give us a thumbs up, and feel free to share this video. Thank you, and I will see you again soon.